Don't let the overcast skies fool you here as we get underway on this Saturday edition of Aqueduct Insider, and of course the spot down in the paddock commemorating past winners of the Cigar Mile. Although there wasn't much sun, this was another above-average temperature day, a light jacket, all you needed. Fans were out in droves. Place was hopping from the first race at 11:50 a.m., and what a Cigar Mile day it was. Jason Blewett, Richard Migliore alongside. Hope you had a terrific Saturday, and this was a day I don't think we will soon forget. There was something for everybody.
No, it's very rare when you go into a day with so much anticipation, so much hope for great racing, and it delivers in the fashion that today's racing did. Some great close finishes, exciting racing, and maybe a budding star.
Well, let's get right into it. 27th running of the Grade 1 $500,000 Cigar Mile. The Grade 1 stakes on this circuit for 2015 came to a close out of the chute as we go up to John Abrial for the call.
And the rough. And Private Zone broke well from his outside post position and is out for the early lead. My True is running in second with Full of Mind on the outside in third. Red Vine is racing in fourth. Mashawish is fifth. And Tonalist is the trailer in sixth as they cross over from the chute to the main track. And Private Zone has opened up here. Private Zone a little bit tough to handle there as they go up the back stretch. It's Private Zone in front by 3. And Matru is second with Red Vine down at the rail in third. Mashawish in fourth. And now Tonalist is up to fifth, and Full of Mind is the trailer. And the quarter went there in 24 seconds. Martin Pedrosa's got a good hold there on Private Zone, leads by a little more than a length. Then it's Matru and Red Vine and Mashawish in between horses. Tonalist is fifth, almost 4 lengths from the lead. Farther back is the big long shot Full of Mind, and the opening half was running 48 and 2/5 seconds. And it is Private Zone leading the field midway around the far turn. Private Zone by a length. Matru is in second. Red Vine to his inside in third. Then it's Mashawish in fourth. Tonalist still with a lot to do, and Full of Mind at the back. And now they're moving for the head of the stretch. Private Zone holding on to the lead here, and it's Matru, Mashawish on the far outside, Red Vine in behind as they pass the 3/16 pole. Private Zone challenged here by Matru and Mashawish. Mashawish on the outside, and Matru. Those two are right together. Tonalist is putting in a big late run, and Red Vine is splitting horses. The 4 of them come down to the line. Look like Tonalist got there. Tonalist with a big late run to win the Cigar Mile.
Big late kick off the quarter pole for Tonalist, a blanket 4-horse finish. Excellent call by John Abrial, and last year's Belmont Stakes champion quite simply would not be denied.
Right, Jason, it looked desperate for Tonalist at the 3/8 pole. He wasn't running at all. It looked like he was going in the wrong direction. But you know what? Think about it. He's never been a horse that's run great around turns. When he got out in the clear, he got to his right lead, and he really finished the deal. Red Vine ran terrific. Too good to lose. Probably pretty unlucky. Got caught up in behind Private Zone, who did not go on turning for home. Had a steady, fine room in between, but the one happy guy at the 8th pole, or 16th pole, really, I should say, Christophe Comant, because one of his two were getting there.
And this has been a horse that has given Christophe a series of firsts. His first Cigar Mile win, his first Classic win in the Belmont, his first Jockey Club Gold Cup win. He's made a few $1 million. He's a 4-year-old, soon-to-be 5-year-old son of Tappet. And although a mile might be a little short of his best, I mean, he showed getting that final quarter in a blazing 23-1. You lead him over, he's just going to leave it all on the track.
And you know what? He's going to finish, and he didn't get pace to run at. So I'm not convinced a mile might not be well within his best distances. I just think if you think about his Westchester, he was very good. He won that. The Met Mile, second to Honor Code, who might have been the best miler in the country this year. And now the Cigar Mile with no pace, going the wrong direction, and got on his right lead and finished the deal. I would like to see him again in the Met Mile next year if he comes back.
Well, I think the plans are that he's coming back in 2016. Did you catch up with Christophe Comant?
And I asked him just that question.
Well, let's find out. Here's the Mig and Christophe.
Congratulations, Christophe. Tonalist did not look like he was running well around the turn, but when he got in the straightaway, he really finished. Were you worried at the 3/8 pole?
I'm always a little bit worried when I run him. You know, the race was run in a funny way. They went so slow early on, which I didn't think was great for us, but that's what good horses do. They win and they overcome things. Great ride from Johnny, and I'm just a very lucky man. They both ran very well.
Well, yes, Red Vine ran well as well. Do you think he was a bit unlucky?
Yeah, no, without a doubt. Joel came back and he said I was very unlucky. I got to watch the replay. But the fun thing for me as a trainer is, the two horses were the best two horses.
And now what do you do with Tonalist? Would that be his last start, or is he going to run next year?
Well, I have to speak to Mr. Evans, but no matter what, they're both going to have a break, and hopefully we'll see them back next year.
Congratulations.
Thanks a lot. Thank you.
$3.5 million plus in the bank for Tonalist, and Red Vine, on the other hand, began his career as sort of, or I should say the year, as sort of just a run-of-the-mill, struggling three other than turf horse, and you look at the way he's been able to turn his life around and the way he's evolved this season with Christoph and the switch back to the main track.
Yeah, I mean, he really appreciates running on the dirt, and he's a very good horse. He's been a bit unlucky. He was unlucky today, although I think Tonalist was the best horse. But maybe if he got through cleanly, Tonalist wouldn't have been able to make up that difference on him. But isn't it interesting? You get an idea about a horse, which I'm sure obviously Christoph had. He was a turf horse. And then when you try something different, how horses change and evolve, and he's turned into a much, much better dirt horse.
Talking about that in a race named for the mighty Cigar, who was just going nowhere on the turf, and of course switched to the main. The rest, they say, is history. We need to, at least for a few seconds, mention Private Zone, because this was not the same Private Zone from the opening bell until the time that he faded in the majority of the races that we've seen him in New York. Completely different horse today.
Yeah, completely different horse. And I think he tipped his hand that he was basically done for the season when he propped in his workout a week ago. Martin Pedrosa flew in to work him. And when a horse reacts like that with a rider, and I know a lot's going to be made of Martin really holding him up early, making him go that slow, why didn't he just let him open up? When you have a horse propped with you like that in the morning, and this horse has had a history of quirky behavior, you can't just let him run freely, because once he gets away from other horses, you don't know what he may or may not do. And I can speak from experience. When you're on one like that, you don't want to be three in front of a thundering field of horses when he decides he's going to turn around.
All right. Good. Well said there, Mig. Maybe that was going through Martin's mind as we get it back to John Embrial for the call of today's 66th running of the comely 3-year-old fillies, 2 turns, 9 furlongs on the main.
And they all came away to a good start, and it's Wonder Gal going out for the lead. Temperament Patty, Caramba, and on the outside, Forever Unbridled. Into the turn, Temperament Patty goes on with it. Now to take the lead from Wonder Gal with Caramba on the outside, a close-up third. It's a length to Forever Unbridled, who's racing in 4th. Pangburn down towards the rail in 5th, and JC Shooting Star is in 6th. Then Stroke Play in 7th, followed by Curlish Figure in 8th. Fast Retailing is 9th, and a break of 3. Peace and War, the early trailer, in 10th. They're on the backstretch after an opening quarter mile. That was run in 24 seconds. Temperament Patty takes the field up the backstretch. It's Temperament Patty by 3/4 of a length, with Caramba right there in second. Just in behind, it's Wonder Gal and Forever Unbridled. Those two are heads apart, 3rd and 4th. Stroke Play is widest of all in 5th. In between horses, JC's Shooting Star runs in 6th. Pangburn at the rail in 7th. Then it's Fast Retailing, followed by Curlish Figure. Peace and War still at the back. The half mile was running 49 and 2. Temperament Patty on the inside and Caramba on the outside. And now the two of them are right together as they race midway around the far turn. Caramba on the outside, Temperament Patty down at the rail, and Forever Unbridled is now moving up on the outside from 3rd. Wonder Gal in behind the front runners in 4th. 3/4 went in 1, 14 and 1, and they're moving for the head of the stretch. And it is Caramba, now challenged by Forever Unbridled on the outside. Caramba and Forever Unbridled, and there's nothing between them with a furlong to the finish. Forever Unbridled on the outside. Caramba down at the rail. It's Forever Unbridled by a nostril. Caramba coming back again on the inside. It's going to be tight as they come down for the finish in the Cumley, and it is Forever Unbridled. Looked like she got it by a couple of noses over a game Caramba.
10 broke from the gate, but this turned into a match race off the quarter pole. John Velasquez on the outside with Forever Unbridled, and Jose Ortiz aboard Caramba, who was looking for 4 straight.
This was just a tremendous horse race. Give Caramba a lot of credit, stepping up into this company, comporting herself so well. I just was so struck. Johnny Velasquez turns for home. He's just Mr. Cool. You know, he's been there, done it, time and time again, and you could see he was waiting for the last second to ask his filly for her best, and it was the right move because Caramba was fighting for it. Just a terrific horse race.
It really was, and an excellent training job from Dallas Stewart, bringing this Charles E. Fipke homebred in, second off a layoff. She had chased to no avail on the chatterbox all winter long at Fairgrounds, was a distant 11th in the Kentucky Oaks. They brought her back in the Raven Run a few weeks ago in Kentucky. She ran okay, and that was clearly a building block to get her to stretch out and get the 9 furlongs over a gritty Corumba.
And she ran well in that Raven Run. A little bit unlucky, kind of got squeezed a bit at the start, was very wide, only beaten a length and 3/4. Now a distance that more suited her. You know, you think about her mother, right? Lemons Forever. Didn't she win a Kentucky Oaks?
Winner, sure.
Yeah, and that was for Dallas as well.
Yep, big price for Dallas.
So good job by him, and a great ride by Johnny.
Yeah, keeping it all in the family. Hall of Famer Johnny V, so strong. When the money's down, I want Johnny on my side, and we'll get Johnny back in the mix, including some 2-year-olds by Bernardini and Tappet on the other side of this quick break here on Aqueduct Insider.
Now you can enjoy your favorite pro and fantasy football teams while playing the races in style as Longshots welcomes back NFL Sunday Ticket. With over 400 HD TVs, 270 individual carols, a full-service sports bar and food menu, Longshots is the place to catch all the great racing and football action. So come on out, bring your friends, bring your league to Longshots, located on the 2nd floor at Aqueduct.
Watch, wager, and win. Naira.com. Streamline, very intuitive. The new look Naira.com, your one-stop shopping for all things Aqueduct. We have that $125 new deposit bonus currently ongoing. Stop on over if you haven't checked out Naira.com over the last few weeks or so. I think you really dig the new wagering interface. Again, you can stack bets. There's basically just one screen. There's not a lot of hopping around. And if it's getting down to post time and the clock's ticking and you got to fire away at a few multi-race bets, that program will help you get those bets in as the MIG and Jason Blewett join you once again on Aqueduct Insider. And for a man who I have to plug in his computer every move day, well, you can use Naira.com.
I was going to ask you think I could handle it?
I think you can, man. And again, I do plug in his computer. Eric or I, from Belmont to Aqueduct to the Spa. One thing always remains the same.
Technologically challenged.
All right. You look good, though, on the air, and you sound even better, Mig. Let's move on to the 94th running of the Demoiselle. I don't know if we ever ran this stake as early as we did today. Race number 3, 2-year-old fillies. Johnny I with the call as they battle 2 turns and 9 furlongs.
And the rough. Lost Raven is sent out for the lead. Thrilled was away well, and Lewis Bay down towards the rail as the 2-year-old fillies go into the clubhouse turn. And it is Lost Raven in front here by a length. Mo Demore moving up on the outside. Then it's Thrilled and Lewis Bay down at the rail. Disco Rose runs along in 5th. At the back are Invite and Floradora. They're heading for the backstretch. And it's Lost Raven, the leader here, by a length over Thrilled, with Mo Demore on the outside and Lewis Bay down at the rail in the quarter 1 and 24 and 2/5 seconds. And now they're heading up the Aqueduct backstretch. Lost Raven in front by 3/4 of a length. Thrilled, Mo Demore right together, 2nd and 3rd. Lewis Bay on the inside is 4th and now moving up a bit. Then it's Disco Rose, followed by Invite and Floradora. 4 lengths separating the field after a half mile in 50 seconds. And now there's a half mile to the wire. Lost Raven continues to lead here. Lost Raven pressured by Thrilled, Mo Demore. And on the outside, it's Disco Rose now making a move. So 4 of them are across the track, heads apart for the lead, with Lewis Bay just in behind in 5th. Then it's Invite and Floradora. Now 3 across with Disco Rose, Lost Raven at the rail, and Thrilled in between. Lewis Bay will be forced wide as the field comes into the stretch. 3/4 went in 1, 14 and 4, and they're stacked across with Lewis Bay out in the middle of the track. Lewis Bay way wide, but now in front. And then it's Thrilled, followed by Disco Rose and Lost Raven and Floradora. They pass the 16th pole, and Lewis Bay has the lead as they come for the finish in the Demoiselle. Lewis Bay by almost 2. Thrilled was 2nd. Then Disco Rose and Floradora.
Maybe not a Demoiselle for the ages, but nonetheless a professional effort out of this Bernardini filly, who it goes back to just Chad Brown bringing her along at a perfect pace. 6, 7 to 9 furlongs today.
Yeah, we were actually talking about it last night previewing this race. Just a nice progression that move up 1 furlong at a time. Now jump to 2 furlongs, but certainly got a nice trip under Irad Ortiz. Thrilled. Actually ran well first time on the dirt, but might have found the right group to try the dirt first
Yeah, she
time.
got some graded black type on the dirt today as a filly by Uncle Mo for Todd Pletcher. But again, Songbird, Rachel's Valentina, and everybody else in that 2-year-old filly division. But who knows, maybe Lewis Bay will keep improving for Chad Brown, who, by the way, picked up his 32nd graded stakes victory in today's Demoiselle, and for Irad Ortiz, his 21st on the year.
Yeah, that's pretty big. And, you know, I was looking at some stat yesterday. I think Chad Brown, his best year to date was 17 graded stakes wins. So he's on his way to doubling that total. Really making a huge mark.
And I'm sure picking up new calls for potential clients every single day. I mean, the guy just wins and gets it done. Let's move on to the Remsen now. In fact, Chad took on the unbeaten Mohayman with the pair of horses, the state-bred Flexibility and Gift Box, who took a ton of play off a very fast and solid maiden win on Gold Cup Day at Belmont. He's the second choice at 2 to 1. Mohayman's favorite at 3 to 2. And we go back to Johnny I, who's got the run into the first turn.
On the outside, it's Runaway King and Marengo Road. Into the turn. And from that inside post, Donegal Moon has the lead over Flexibility. Mohayman runs in third. On the outside is Runaway King next in fourth. Then it's a length to Gift Box in fifth. Marengo Road is in sixth. Salahoy is next in seventh. Then it's a gap of 5 back to the 2 trailers, Ravenheart and Hunter O'Reilly. And they're on the back stretch with about 6 furlongs to the finish. And Donegal Moon leads here by a half length. Flexibility in second. On the outside is long shot Runaway King. And down towards the rail is the favorite, Mohayman. Then comes Gift Box, who's racing in fifth, just 4 lengths off the lead. On the outside is Marengo Road. Then it's Sail Ahoy, and farther back Ravenheart and Hunter O'Reilly. The half was run in 49 seconds. And they're still chasing Donegal Moon, who continues to lead, takes the field into the far turn. Donegal Moon now by a head as Flexibility gets closer on the outside. Mohayman is down at the rail in third, with Runaway King to his outside in fourth. Gift Box now begins to pick it up and is gaining ground in between horses. Sail Ahoy now within 4 lengths of the lead. Marengo Road's on the outside, then Hunter O'Reilly and Ravenheart, and they're at the top of the stretch in the Remsen. Here is Flexibility. On the outside is Gift Box, and towards the rail it's Mohayman. So 3 of them arrive at the 8th pole together. Flexibility, Mohayman. Gift Box is now in third, and now there's a 16th out, and now Mohayman has taken over the lead, and the Tappet Colt is going to stay undefeated. He's 3 for 3. Mohayman the winner by 2. Flexibility was second, and Gift Box finished third.
That's right, Johnny I. Unbeaten Gray Colt by Tappet, a perfect 3 for 3 as a 2-year-old. Mohayman, well, you know, expectations, Mig, were high as soon as the gavel fell in the auction ring at $2.2 million, and he has lived up to it. He's been very good handling in 3 races, 3 completely different scenarios.
And that's what you got to really like about it. Not only is he getting it done and winning, he's learning so much because he did it on the lead, basically on the lead. He did it outside, making a long run. This time he did it bottled up, waiting for a seam. He's going to be very well prepped as we head towards the Triple Crown season.
And he's got a top trainer in the corner, in his corner, that is, in Kieran McLaughlin. And there's no real poetic justice at the racetrack, but off 2 tough beats with Cairo Prince and Frosted, we'll say Kieran was owed a Remsen. He got it today with Mohayman, and here he is with the MIG.
Kieran, a couple near misses before in the Remsen. Nice to get this one. Mohayman was very professional.
Yeah, very nice horse. Junior rode him great, and he did everything right. It's a big win for the team.
He was 2 for 2 coming into today without Lasix. You added Lasix. What was the thought process behind that?
Well, he did trickle a tiny bit last time, so we wait till they actually require Lasix to use it. So, you know, today it worked out great.
It seemed to me from my vantage point up on the roof that he was a little bit quieter than I've ever seen him before, and I didn't know if that might have had something to do with the Lasix. What do you attribute it to?
It might have. We also schooled him a lot at the gate because we weren't happy the way he acted last time. It was so unlike him. He had never shown anything like that at the gate, and he reared up in here. So we did school him quite a bit, and it worked out well.
He seemed very professional in behind horses. Were you anxious turning for home when you needed room?
Yes, I was a little anxious, but it's great to win for Shadwell. Sheikh Hamdan bin Rashid Al Maktoum has been one of my, owners for 22 years, and it's great to win for him. And Just Whistle Dixie, I trained, so it's special to have this horse be this good.
Well, he is good. What do you do with him now? Do you take him to Florida and get ready for his 3-year-old campaign?
Yes, we do.
Any idea where that first start might be?
Holy Bull's likely at 60 days from now, but we'll talk about it.
Congratulations.
Thank you very much.
And this is something that has come up more than once on this show, out of your mouth specifically. Wouldn't it be something if Kier McLaughlin wins the Kentucky Derby as one of the Lexington boys who's done pretty good in his life?
It feels like that would be the right thing. The racing gods should, I think, reach in and lend a hand. Here is a guy who's dedicated his life to the game, a guy who grew up in the bluegrass of Kentucky, a home-grown product to go back home and take down the biggest prize in North American racing. It seems like it would be fitting to me.
And he plays as a great ambassador as well. Yes. There were few people as approachable as Kieran, who's just a great guy any way you slice it, family man, and does a lot of good for the training community and, of course, Kieran's kids, which we've had in the studio, and maybe joining us on an Insider in the future as the cars whiz by. This is the Mecca, the Big A in South Ozone Park, Queens, and we are charging down the stretch after this final timeout. The man next to me said Sundays are fun days with the new 10% winners bonus at the Big A. You can watch and wager at Naira.com, high-def streaming on your laptop, your smartphone, your tablet, in the palm of your hand. It's the MIG, it is Jason. Cigar Mile Day 2015 has gotten dark outside, but all kidding aside, MIG, this place was really jumping. You could really feel a palpable buzz in the stands all day today.
Well, you put out a good product and good, exciting, and grade one kind of racing. Racing fans are going to come out. Even making my way down here from my office to the studio after the last race, it's still hopping out there.
All right, rapid fire pick 4 coming up. They're still going at Churchill, in fact. And speaking of Churchill, nice win out of FNX last night for Jimmy Jerkins. Let's move on, though, to the stretch runs of 4, 6, 8, and 10 with the man upstairs, John Embriao.
Lindley up to take over the lead from Just the Zip. On the outside, Annals of Time is kicking in now. So it's Inspector Lindley and Annals of Time. Annals of Time, Inspector Lindley. Those two battle it out to the wire. Annals of Time by a neck. Inspector Lindley was second in a big break. Back to Just the field now comes into the stretch. It is Gear Jammer all out to hold off Sonny and Pally. Then Island Therapy, One-Eyed Ray, and Wicked Fried on the outside. They're inside the 8th pole. Here comes Island Therapy now splitting horses. A late run down at the rail from All His Number. It's Island Therapy in front as they come for the wire. All His Number is there. Photo finish at the end. Photo finish. The late charging. Tan is third. Bombaguilla on the inside in fourth. Then it's Dream Man, Orino, El Jefe Grande on the far outside. Here is Financial Modeling to take a narrow lead. Orino is coming on. El Jefe Grande on the outside. Financial Modeling now steps away to lead by 2. El Jefe Grande takes second. It's Financial Modeling and Irad Ortiz Jr. El Jefe Grande was second. Orino finished Toga Gal. The field heads for home. On the inside, it's Alabama Bound, and on the outside, it's Praying Mantis, and here comes Kitty Madness now up. Kitty Madness along with Praying Mantis, and on the inside, it is Alabama Bound. Kitty Madness comes away with the lead. Late move on the outside from Sophia's Choice, along with Out of Nowhere, who came from out of nowhere but could not catch Kitty Madness.
He looks like his dad charging down the stretch, but it was Dylan Davis, not Robbie, aboard Charming Kitten in the last race, or Kitty Madness in the last race, excuse me, for John Morrison. 3-wide run, and you've commented more than once the similarities. It
is uncanny. It looks like Robbie finishing on a horse in his prime. Dylan just, he not just DNA, he must have watched a lot of tape of his father.
Let's get on to race number 4. You could take us through, Mig. Cappy's Binox with the Cigar Mile undercard second look. And this is a maiden turf race with a pair of 2-year-olds from a pair of horses we're going to hear a lot from next year.
You kind of keep an eye on the one, Inspector Lindley. He kind of hit the front, and his ears started kind of wiggling back and forth, and he got to looking around. And then here comes this big run from Annals of Time, and Inspector Lindley kind of took off again, but Annals of Time had all the momentum. These are two very, very nice horses, and maybe they might have something to say next year in the Belmont Derby.
Oh, yeah, thinking ahead in the Belmont Derby. Of course, Chad Brown, the winning trainer of Annals of Time, who was a firster by Temple City, won the Belmont Oaks last year with Lady Eli, and guy is just a complete threat on the turf. Won 3 races today, yep. And Erod Ortiz also had a big day riding for trainer Chad Brown. And we can get right into the rider standings as John Velasquez won his 2nd Cigar Mile and picked up another graded win in the Comley.
But he won't be running down Erod Ortiz because Johnny Velasquez, today was his last day competing in New York for the year, as well as Joel Rosario.
Well, those guys will take a few weeks off in the month of December, well-deserved vacation, and get back at it down at Gulfstream Park. And Chad Brown, I'm sure, in the process of sending quite a few turf horses down to Florida, but he continues to bat at a very high percentage and is a great manager. And let's move on to the owner standings with Michael Dove. Wow, 5 wins in front of Mike Rapoli and David Jacobson, sitting chilly with 10. And the work he does, Mig, in the claim box is something we really encounter just about every racing card here at Aqueduct.
It's just remarkable, and he always claims horses with a plan going forward. Just a guy that just knows the game, and basically claiming horses looking to the future with a plan, and that's why he's so successful at it.
And the future is now with a couple of sharp analysts for Sunday's plays. Andy and Maggie, where are you?
Thanks a lot, guys. Plenty of action Sunday after the big day here. Saturday at the Big A. I'm going to get it done early. I'm going to look at the first race. A maiden claiming 20 field. They can bet Jazz Player dropping down after running just a few days ago. I liked Harlan's Glory, the 7 last time out. She had trouble in there, and in some ways I think she's the horse to beat. But at the end of the day, or he is, I don't want to take him last time. He was a good price last time. He'll be shorter in here. I'm taking a shot with the 2 Too Wild to Repent down the rail. Source ran a maiden special weight race that wasn't really that bad, actually, at Gulfstream back in April, and took a ton of money going off at 7-2. Didn't break, rushed up, and then didn't do any running. Kind of reminds me of the running line in the 7, Harlan's Glory, in its first race. But this horse was in a maiden special weight and really got bet that day. Gets a good trainer change to Mike Maselli, who I think does a terrific job, drops down, and I'm hoping 2 Wild to Repent will be the stranger that gets it done to start out Sunday's card.
Well, I hope everybody enjoyed their Cigar Mile day, as we'll look forward to the Sunday card. And our feature is the New York Stallion Series Stakes. It's a Thunder Rumble division, and that's for the older sprinters, the New York bred and sired horses here. And I will go with number 2, Loki's Vengeance. I've always had a bit of a love affair with this horse, as he's had a pretty good campaign in 2015. Yes, last time out in the Hudson was not his best effort. He was stuck down inside, though, was never very comfortable, taking a lot of kickback. So I'm hoping that, looking at the other horses in here, he might be the controlling speed. He is going to have to get the 7 furlongs, which he has been unable to do in the past. But I'm hoping, just because he looks as though he's doing well heading into this one, he'll be able to get the job done and run away with this field, the Thunder Rumble division, tomorrow. Guys, back to you.
The plays trained by a couple of stalwarts and Mike Maselli and Mike Hushin, as Tonalist becomes the first ever Belmont Stakes champ to come back and take the Cigar Mile. Johnny V, Christophe Camon, what a 4-year-old son of Tappet. That'll do it on this latest edition of Aqueduct Insider. The Mig and I will see you tomorrow night right here on MSG+.